What's up, ladies, gentlemen, everything in between and on the outskirts. Welcome to khazaraanime, where I'll attempt to give my thoughts in a reviews type manner on anime that I've been watching or recommended by people for me to take a look at. Today we're going to be looking at Ninjakamui, which is an original anime developed by Solo Digital Arts, an animation studio that did works for Tower of God, The God of High School, and many other titles spanning across anime and even video games. The second animation studio that helped brought us Ninjakamui is the fairly new established E&H production company, which is ran by Shungo Park, who directed the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen and God of High School. Joseph Shu will be at the helm, a producer who has done works and assisted on some of the animes that I stated before, including Neon Genesis Evangelion and many more. Ninjakamui would then go on to be aired by one of our favorite programs, the one and only Adult Swim. How this anime starts off is something that will grip any viewer that is interested within a simple revenge story. So it begins with this businessman serving as an example as to what happens when you're not in good standing with ninjas. Then it cuts to another guy named Joe Logan who is enjoying his somewhat quiet life with his family. Secluded, not bothering anybody, but obviously as the viewer continues to watch, it becomes a tad bit suspicious, seeing as though that they are very careful with their movements. This would include wiping off fingerprints on whatever they touch, and possessing an unhealthy amount of surveillance cameras. Everything seems to be peaceful and quiet, but just like any obvious narrative setup that you can spot a mile away, something happens and he also experiences what happens when you're not in good standing with ninjas. Then we're introduced to our main protagonist who, as you can guess, is not in good standing with ninjas as well. His name is Higan. The group of people who sent these ninjas after him did, or rather took something very dear to him. Now set out on a quest of revenge on those who have done wrong by him. He may just be the one to put an end to a powerful establishment, John Wick style, but as it would seem, Higan may not be able to accomplish this task alone. He meets two police officers who offer their assistance, Mike and Emma, whose investigations lead them to discovering the underworld of ninjas that's been around for a very long time. Now within this modern day, they seem to be tied to this huge company known as Auza, which is leading society in its technological advancements. Think of a shadowy or suspicious Apple or Google. I mean, if you don't already. The story of Ninjakamui sounds simple enough, right? Well, because it is. This isn't the type of anime that you should watch if you're looking for a deep, sophisticated plot. You're pretty much watching Ninjakamui for the action, and probably the action alone. Ninjakamui is violent as hell. There'll be a whole lot of action-packed scenes with the respective life being thrown out the window and shot with a grenade launcher. A lot of bodies will be hitting the ground, and I mean a lot. Ninjakamui isn't one of those deep animes with philosophical meaning to it. I mean, it does hit on some concepts, but it really just all about that action and witnessing death fights. We got sword fighting, secret ninja arts that makes no sense, and a whole lot of explosions. We do have some toned down peaceful moments which ultimately results back into more fighting. Awesome shots to make a person look cool, creative torture segments, and just a whole lot of ridiculous stuff. Higan for the most part comes off as OP as fuck. Whenever you see these ninjas that look like the Foot Clan from the Ninja Turtles with the design that came from the Cyber Ninja of Metal Gear Solid, blended with a little bit of the soldier model from the Shinra company in Final Fantasy VII, whenever you see these guys on the screen, just know that there's going to be a whole lot of body bash that's going to be filled, because he mows them down just like a gamer spamming the square button playing a Dynasty Warriors game. Speaking of Metal Gear, this guy looks like he came straight out of Revengeance or the indie game Fury. But that's just from the designs of the character you see in the beginning of the show. In order for you to fully enjoy this anime, please turn your brain off and enjoy the spectacular violence. Once you add state-of-the-art exoskeleton suits that look like it was inspired from the Zone of the Enders mechs, anything goes at this point. As far as the choreography when it comes to the fights, it's balls to the walls amazing, not to mention ridiculous, but let's talk about the music. The opening song for Ninjakamui is quite beneficial for the show. The name of the song is called Vengeance, which was composed and performed by the Japanese rock band known as Cold Rain, which captivates the anger and rage of our main character. I checked out the official music video, and the concept for it being a real-life representation of a lady caught in a roguelike game is quite compelling. The rock band Cold Rain has quite a few projects out and given their contributions to other animes as well. For the show Fire Force, the opening theme song for season 1 and 2 for Bastard, along with other IPs as well. The ending theme song is called Eye Opener, which is sung by one Jessica Galenas, who provides this gentle, soft-soothing, and yet confident vocals on this song with the strums of acoustic guitars at the heart of it all. But now that the opening and ending theme is covered, on to the main course. Ninjakamui's original soundtrack was done by R.O.N. The music that he provides is a lot of things, alternative rock, hip-hop, you name it. But I'll include links in the description where you can listen for yourself. What I liked about this anime is that it plays with the viewer's assumption based on the character's behavior and appearance. Let's take a look at this guy. He looks like a nervous wreck, got sweat coming down, and looks like he just pissed his pants. Then about 2 minutes later, this man is damn near seemingly untouchable. I mean, until he gets touched. Then afterwards, when a certain reveal is unmasked early in the episode, it becomes evident that for so much precaution to be implemented must mean that this guy's in some deep crap. Then boom, he's untouchable until he gets touched. One of the main themes of this anime comes in the form of asking what does one loyalty lies. Does one stay true to his duty or to those that love him? Does one stay working on a job that can fire and replace an employee for any reason at any given time? Or should that person focus more on what benefits him or her as a human being? These are the important questions that one must ask oneself, but obviously you can see what type of choice that Higan made. He defied and went against this anime's version of a ninja way, which essentially prevents any emotional attachment or bonds to be created regardless of how long you know a person or have been around that person. According to them, such characteristics as showing emotions or caring for others would inevitably get in the way of them carrying out a mission, clouds their judgment, or ends up getting them killed. Now that I think about it, which is kinda ironic because it's this ninja organization that seems to be the one that's getting rid of those who formed bonds with them, or even dare to show affection or love to their own comrades. To them, a ninja is just simply a living tool for someone else to use to further their agendas. But what's so funny is what will happen if a so-called tool becomes self-aware? What I like about this anime is that Higan more than one way tells the Ninja Council that he chooses his family and those that he loves over his duty and responsibility as a mere living tool for Japan. But it wasn't just only him, it was the love of his life who joined him and the gift that they bore which brought them a newfound purpose to live for. They knew the risk and yet still chose, even though it would have ultimately resulted in what would occur. This simple choice, to which many would consider to be revolutionary and others suicidal, would have a profound effect on those that grew close to them. It would inspire others and unfortunately negative impact those who couldn't probably understand fully why they made that choice. But to wrap things up, Ninjakamui is cool to watch for spectacle purposes. If you love action, ninja, violence, and some good animation, Ninjakamui is your show. You can watch Ninjakamui on the Adult Swim program via their website or under the subscription-based service HBO Max. Until next time, peace.